Alright, hi guys, welcome to today's video and thank you for joining me today. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the most used brushes that I have in my collection, and I'm going to talk about one, sometimes two per category. So let's just get started. I tried to pick the ones that I really did use the most, and if you can't get it, I picked like the second most used because I know some of the ones I mentioned are not available anymore. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the foundation brush, and that is the Mizuho CMP 510. Now it's just, this is such a well-made, solid, synthetic foundation brush, and I use this when I really want my skin to have a lot of coverage. I feel like it does provide a pretty heavy coverage, especially if you stamp it, but you can use it to buff and stamp your foundation in, and it's just such a great foundation brush. You can use it for cream, blush, and contour, but I use it mainly for foundation. And I know I always wash this one, and it might be part of the reason why I use it so much is because I don't feel like I have to be so gentle with this because of the construction of it. It's just such a solid brush, and the hairs are synthetic. I don't think a single hair has ever fallen out, so I feel like I can just use this as much as I want, wash it as much as I want. With some of my other like natural hair foundation brushes, I really do like these, but I just feel like I have to be more gentle, and if I were to use this and wash it too much, it will start shedding. So I do feel like between like the performance and the like the durability of the brush, I go with this one probably more than any other. So that is the foundation. Now the concealer brush. I have a lot of concealer brushes. I do use the Goss 16. I don't believe you can get that. I also use a rephr 15, but probably not as much as the Sonia G soft concealer brush. It's such, it's soft like the name says, and it's really good at just pressing in the concealer where you want it, not so much for like spreading it out, but I kind of press the concealer. I use it mainly for the under eyes and for right here because it really provides a very concentrated application. So for concealer, I do believe this is probably my most used concealer brush. Now with the eye blending brush, I talk about the Goss number 3 so much. I've demoed this so many times. It's amazing. You can still get it, but I've mentioned this so many times. So I want to mention another one that I got more recently, but I've been using it quite often, and I'm very quite taken with this brush. It was a recommendation from one of you guys, and I'm so glad that I took that advice, and that's the Hakuhodo GS2. It's made of Canadian squirrel. This was in my last CD Japan haul, so if you want to see a little bit more of it, you can go. I'll link some of the videos that I have where I go into more detail about these brushes, but it could blend, pack, and line, so it's kind of like an all-in-one brush, and I absolutely love this one. It's so comfortable to use, and I can't recommend this one enough. I'm considering getting a second one just because of the material. This is squirrel hair, and it's really high quality. Also, this brush, it's hakuhodo, so it's made so well. Not a single hair is shed even after washing it. So, and they're beautiful. These are the GS series. They have the gold-plated ferrule and the really shiny lacquered handle, and these are just very stunning brushes. So another reason why I might want another one of these. Most used packing brushes, and this is just simply a numbers. But I've talked about these so many times. I'm not going to go into too many details, but those are my hakuhodo horse packing brushes. I have 3 different sizes right here, and I've been talking about these for some time. These are amazing, and I probably use this more than any of my other ones, but I did want to mention the Bisyodo. I think it's I'll put it down below. I think it's the ES6, but it's their Kolinsky packing brush, And again, it's just such a beautiful brush. I love this long series, as you guys might already know. And I didn't mention this in my Bisyodo video because I forgot about it, but I do have it in a haul that when I got this one, and you know, it's not as intense of an application as the horsehair brushes. It's probably more along the lines of my blue squirrel packing brushes, but it's just a little different from what I have, and the color of the whole thing is just you know, just so beautiful. I just love picking this brush up just so I can see it more. Okay, now the most used lining brush is probably my Wayne Goss number 5, but you can't get that anymore. And I do feel like this one is very, very similar in performance and comfortability. And that's the rephr number 3. This was kind of a surprise. I didn't think I would like it so much, but I do like having a liner brush that provides a very like, you know, fine, concentrated application, and that's what this does. It's very comfortable. It's you know, super solid, solidly made, and you can get these very, you know, fairly inexpensive with their sets. And I don't know if this was scent complimentary, but it's just such a really, really solid liner brush at the number 3. All right, now I wanted to mention, just kind of like an honorable mention, the hakuhodo B533. This is, you know, obviously it's bigger, it's made out of horsehair, but it's so soft. I didn't think it was going to be as comfortable as it is. And, you know, it's because it's bigger, it'll provide a little bit of a heavier line. I think I used it today, but I really, really like this, and I have been using it quite a lot. It was just in my last haul, so I didn't want to, you know, it's definitely not my most used, but I would say one of my more favorite hakuhodo finds of the year. So highly, highly recommend this one. Under eye powdering, I mentioned this so many times, but I would say the CHHC from the Bisyodo Cherry series. I've talked about this so many times. It was in my top brushes under $30. I believe it's still like in the $28 USD range. And it's super well made. I mean, it's from their Cherry series, so it's not as luxurious, but it's still very well made. These hairs don't fall out. And if this one is a little, getting a little dirty, I would say the hakuhodo B5521 is a perfect alternative. This is squirrel and goat hair. This one's gonna cost a lot more, but this is fairly new, so it's not my most used, but I use this as much for powdering under the eyes as I do for highlighter. It does both things beautifully, or doing like a concentrated blush application. I do use this for that. And I'm really, really liking this. As the longer I have it, the more I appreciate that one. Okay, now probably my most used blush brush of the year is the Bisyodo BC1. And it's this shape. I have a couple of other ones. I have a tapered one and I have an angled one, but this one is still my favorite of the long series cheek brushes, and I just really favor this shape, this size, and it's very, very similar to the next brush I'm going to mention for bronzing, and that's the hakuhodo B110. And they're very, very similar. I think the measurements are identical. This is dyed, this is undyed, obviously, and this one's a little bit more luxurious. I believe cost-wise they're about the same. So, you know, if you have to decide between the two, I would get this one. It's just, these are just so beautiful. The hakuhodo ones are as well. And I don't know, for some reason I use this for blush a little bit more, and I use this more for bronzer, but this is also an amazing blush brush. I use both of them kind of the same way, I guess. I tend to do this. Oh, they feel the same. Let me see if I can compare. Like, they feel the same. This one may be just a tad bit softer, but I didn't realize that these are close to identical brushes, but And both of these are amazing, and I use them both for bronzer as well. So those are the, you know, brushes that I use on a regular basis. Right, so that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.